are dedicated to just try and expand racial quotas.
You know, what would really fix this from the beginning had not had, you know, all the... So, why do we have DI in the first place? Because this is the problem that creates. So, why was DI necessary in the first place? Well, people, at least the government thought it was necessary in the first place.
Why do I think that it was...
No, why would this government...
You want my well-intentioned... DEI is not a government policy. Oh my god.
Oh, for the record, they caught Charlie Kirk's killer, some little white dude. Big surprise, big surprise. White dude with a gun shot another white dude. White on white violence, y'all. When will the violence end? Real talk though, RIP, I don't care. For the record, he wasn't a leftist, he wasn't an extreme leftist. He was, drumroll please, can we guess it? A groiper from the bowels of 4chan releases another mass shooter. Oh. I'm sorry, just this morning I saw fucking CSNBC remembering Charlie Kirk's life, and I'm like, oh cool, are you gonna bring up one of his major arguing points was there are too many black people in commercials? Y'all, I shit you not, in the year 2017 he was making that argument. Like, one of his biggest sticking points was black people in the media. So it's like, y'all, he was a hate monger. I mean, for the record, I'm not saying that's all of the right. It is most of them, obviously, but it's not all of the right. It's just, why are we trying to make this dude something he wasn't? He wasn't some grand martyr, a speaker for the little... Again, I'm watching Hannah cover his work, and I'm just curious if they're going to cover his actual life work. I'm curious if they're going to find, like, good clips of him, because I'm just trying to think of a time when he wasn't a little shitheel. Because, like I said, that was, like, his whole thing was, well, what if Dr. House was just a college shithead? What if contrarian, butthole personality? And for the record, y'all, I mean, you can do contrarian correctly. Look at Lewis Black. I love that old man. And is anyone trying to shoot Lewis? No, of course not. Why? Because he might be a contrarian, but he's not a cunt. That's the difference. Oh no, absolutely not. Only good Nazis are dead Nazis. That was a good one.
Well, again, yeah, we know because air traffic controllers and many others, they relax those standards. When you have a... Oh my god, a ton got fucking fired! What are you talking about? Flurry and Catherine says, hell yeah, Hannah, that perfectly reflects how I feel and I wasn't able to put it into words. I do words, okay? Virginia. You're saying that, but that, look, you're not, it does not make sense. It's irresponsible. Not only say that, but to actually put, you know, unqualified people in that, and risk lives. But we know that's actually happening every day. And that's why it doesn't make sense. But racial quotas end up mattering more.
Damn it.
When I'm full of shit, Charlie's full of shit, I go in for a thank you for 38 months of...
No, he's not full of shit no more. All that poured out when the bullet pierced his throat.
We want a merit-based... No one wants unqualified people doing jobs. That's a complete fucking straw man, and it's full of shit. Space society.
I say we should have started that way from the beginning, but at any rate, then the last thing, I don't want to like, but I'll just say the last thing. So you talked about, black fathers, absentee, and all this other stuff and everything else. I actually agree. Okay, yeah, and, more fathers in the home and everything else. That's wonderful stuff.
Something else. We're almost an hour in. We've still been on the same video. I know it's been kind of easier with the way we've been doing that, so. How about a cringe top? No, there is an article. I want to read the one where he talks about gun control. Where was that? Oh, here's one. Trump ally Charlie Kirk suggests children should watch public executions.
Oh, what a hot and beautiful take. For the record, their golden boy, the one that they're all crying and shitting themselves over. Charlie Kirk, his hot take from the Atlantic here is he thinks that it would bring down crime rates if children 12 and under were forced to watch live executions. As in, for example, Charlie Kirk's murderer. They think that we should make children watch public executions. Y'all, that doesn't... I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, if they get scared, then they won't do the crime, right? It's why there's such big laws against certain things. And despite the fact that it's, big laws against it, surprisingly, crimes still happen. Almost like the harsher the punishment doesn't really do anything. Because crime's a situational thing, not a targeted thing. Either way, though. He thought that children should watch executions. That doesn't help. That won't help anything. All that'll do is damage your children. But the man's opinion doesn't matter because he's dead now. So haha, fuck you, Charlie. Like I said, I was sorry about it because, human being died. So sad. But seeing y'all, at this point, what's the point of mainstream media? Like real talk. But what's the point of it? Maybe comedic media, like Last Week Tonight or something like that. But what's the point of mainstream media when all they're going to do is pretend like this piece of... Y'all, I heard Charlie Kirk compared to Martin Luther King today. That Martin Luther King was assassinated twice now. That's bullshit. No. Absolutely the fuck... One, Charlie Kirk wouldn't even want that. He would find it insulting to compare him to Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King's black, so Charlie Kirk would immediately assume he is inferior to him. Y'all, I hate the world we live in. I don't hate you guys. You guys are awesome, but just... so exhausting. At least now he's dead, so we don't have to hear about it anymore, right? We're not going to have to hear about every fucking step legally that gets taken, considering this dude's a fucking groiper, right? Now that we know that he's just a proud and out white supremacist who thought Charlie Kirk was teaching the wrong white supremacist message, media's going to let him go, right? He's not the Antifa super soldier they all pretended he was when they started a manhunt with no reward. And y'all, I don't know what to tell y'all other than dude's father turned him in. That's... ew. Now, I'm sorry, I don't normally agree with someone like Stalin, but what a disgusting little pig betraying his own family like that. And for what? The state? Is the state going to give him a warm reward as his son's head rolls across the floor? Are they going to give him any? No. No. They gave him a good job and patted the little dog right on the head. Don't sell out your family for head pats is what I'm saying, y'all. Come the fuck on. Although we know what caused it, clearly, that the kid's father was a Trump supporter. That's all you need to know to find... Well, why did he choose gun violence? I don't know, he's of the shit in their hair, shoot 'em first crowd, so... Sorry. Yeah, y'all, bit of a rambly wind up, but it's just, you know, 'tis what 'tis. We gotta start doing better, y'all. We do. I mean, I'm not even saying don't mourn. If you particularly cared for this shitheel, I'm sorry that your entertainer is dead. But at the same time, y'all, it's just, what about him was entertaining? What did you lose? I can't imagine it was very much. Oh, he was a father. Yes, and thankfully his children are so young, they hopefully won't be affected by this. But he had 2 children. Yeah, and he had said that if they were raped by an adult and impregnated, he would force his 8-year-old daughter to carry the child to term. Which, don't know if you know this, that would kill that would probably kill the baby as well, but it would definitely kill the mother. Because our bodies just aren't made to do that at that age and part of development. Well, back in the day doesn't fucking matter. We don't even know if they were accurate on their ages when they wrote shit like that out. Because back in the day we believed in fairies and nonsensical bullshit. It was the Dark Ages. If you had a stomach ache, we fucking cut open the side of your stomach and drained some of your humors out. It was not a good time for medical science. If you're basing your science based on that, you're a fucking dipshit. Like the now dead Charlie Kirk. May he rot in piss. It's been long enough, y'all, right? We've already had 2 more school shootings in the U.S. We can surely move on from the Nazi being murdered, right? I said, it bugs me how stupid my fellow Americans are. Well, he was shot in public, so it's the same as Martin Luther King. Ah! No, it was not. Martin Luther King being shot in public was a hate crime because they were trying to silence one of the 4 black men that were able and willing to step up and say something. Charlie Kirk was one of, what, 1 billion pissed off white people? Who cares? He was a small voice in a large crowd. And clearly he upset one of his groypers who murdered him for Trump. Yes, I went with the Cali voice because of how fucking ridiculous this is. The dude who murdered Charlie Kirk, y'all, he wasn't left. He killed him for Trump. Because Charlie Kirk had said something rude about his limp dick tiny king. So again, y'all, just pointing this one out there, right-wingers came out, they hit themselves with a rock, pointed at the left, and started screaming, "You did this! Oh no, consequences, how?" Yes, y'all, actions have consequences. If I get on here every single day and all I preach is fucking hate rhetoric and fuck your neighbor and man, fuck that guy, fuck this, fuck that, and then one day someone comes and silences me, y'all, I'm not going to say woohoo, but yeah, I kind of had it coming. You can't make an entire career out of, oh, what you gonna do, shoot me? Confused Pikachu face, someone shot me? But why would they get that idea? Like I said, I'm so tired of my society pretending. It's very frustrating when you try to have a functional society. Probably no video this afternoon. We'll do a video game stream, but probably no video just because at the moment, I'm probably going to catch a ride home. Possibly, hopefully. And if I do, then I won't be able to do a video. Also, I hope y'all have been enjoying the coat content. I'll be uploading more of that here soon. David, in all of his kindness and sweetness, has ordered me an entire kit of Sharpie markers. Well, they're not Sharpie, but they are clothing markers, so we'll see how they do. eventually, when I get a paycheck that actually lasts more than a day for bills, I'll be going to Uptown Cheapskate as well as the Thrift and Ropa and a few other shops, specifically looking for denim jackets, but really also t-shirts with fun designs, even if they're a little bit holey, because I plan on cutting patches out of them to add 2 other jackets. I have this really nice one that Miss Cat gave me that I haven't really wanted to Sharpie up, but with some like fabric markers and possibly with some patches from other shirts, that'd be pretty cool to do for it. Either way, what I'm saying is stand by. I've been enjoying some of this clothing making content, so we'll give it a try further. Outside of that, The Long Dark, I might or might not give that one a try. The disclaimer took a while to read, not because it was a long disclaimer, but because it just took so long to load. Given that, I might not put it on here just because, you know, long load times aren't fun to watch. It's why I don't do Skyrim all that much. I like Skyrim, I wouldn't mind putting it on here and creating a new character, but in order to fast travel, you gotta take on a long load screen, and, you know. I might eventually get on here and do the whole Let's Play Skyrim and read every book and all that, but I don't know, y'all. I'm still trying to find what entertains y'all and what's worth recording, you know? But I do hope y'all have been enjoying the streams. Let's go back to Anna for a bit.
Bad for his children, but they were there when the thing happened to him. So at least one of his political aspirations happened before he died.
Nice.
Chitara says, so you know how the right-wing influencers immediately made calls for violence against leftists and liberals after Kirk died because they assumed the shooter must have been trans, non-white lefties? The primary suspect the FBI hasn't caught yet looks like a cis white guy who wouldn't have been out of place at a Trump rally. Once again, potentially it was one of their own guys, meaning right-wing white guys, perpetuating violence. We don't know yet. I've seen the picture. Wait. Talk about the person until we know more about the person. That is all I will say about it. Altered Undying says, there are problems with air traffic controllers because they tried to form a union and everyone was fired under Reagan, and they never hired enough people to fill the gaps, according to John Oliver, according to history. Anyway. So the article, Trump ally Charlie Kirk suggests children should watch public executions. Charlie Kirk, founder and president of the conservative organization Turning Point USA, suggested in a recent episode of The Charlie Kirk Show that children should watch public executions. Capital punishment, also known as the death. Why are articles like this? I know they gotta fill a word count, but really, here's the story. Then let's fill a couple paragraphs that I got from Wikipedia about a definition of a thing.
That if you're reading the article, you definitely know what it means.
On his weekly panel discussion, Thought Crime. Of course it was called Thought Crime. Kirk was discussing death penalties of those convicted of crimes, adding that not only does he believe there should be public executions, but that children should watch them. Quote, death penalties should be public, should be quick, it should be televised. I So great. Charlie Kirk. Oh, Charlie Kirk. He was a fucking psycho. Again, it's not good he was assassinated. It's not good someone killed him. You don't have to pretend he was anything other than a fucking monster. Remind me not to mimic choking on dick on stream ever again. Anyway, Kirk, along with co-host Jeff Krzoviak, Tyler Bauer, and Blake Knapp, continue to discuss what age should children watch the public execution, with one co-host pointing out as young as 12 years old.
Why do you do this then, Shifu? Every time I sit down to do this time he was already on the couch and all that. Because they had been fed and walked and I was waiting to go to work. Or to start my hike. And so he's on the couch, you know, chilling like a villain, cool dog and all. And then he wants down, so I let him down. He wanders the house for a hot second, now he wants back up. He does this all the time. It would actually go up if you increase public executions. They tried this in France and Britain and in a couple other countries. The reason the crime rates go up with public execution is, well, now it's like when they put a zero tolerance policy for fighting in school. Their plan was, oh, if everyone, it's like, again, it's mutually assured destruction. Takes two to fight. If you know you're getting suspended, you'll run from the fight, not just not fight. Well, that didn't happen. In fact, what happened was, now we sort of went, you know, feudal era Japan rules to where, oh, we're going to fight, and the fight broke out almost immediately because both parties already knew they were going to get in trouble, so why not swing? They changed their policies literally the year after they put that one in because they realized they had turned the school into a battle royale. Nobody was getting killed, let's be clear. We didn't have weapons, but yeah, chairs were thrown, desks were broken. It was not a good time to be had at Woodland. And the bomb threats started. But I don't know, y'all. I mean, I'd like to pretend like the culture didn't change that. Well, the culture changed, not the access. But it's like, we just didn't have as many school shootings when I was young. We had Columbine, and we had a couple bad ones. I think Sandy Hook happened while I was still in school, maybe. But it's like, I know Columbine happened while I was in school. But it's like, we didn't have as many because we didn't have the opportunities, it feels like. Because I don't think that it was just we were better kids. I really don't think that was the cause or case. So to me it has to be the access, right? Exactly. Oh, man. Dying. Sorry for that, y'all. Hmm. Hello, hello, dear viewer. Give me a second, I'm gonna keep trying to drill, but I'm looking for my coffee. There it is. Huh. Always important to remember, with Charlie Kirk being dead, they were disingenuous shitheels. Now, they're worm food. Kittens have knocked down the boxes I use to make back borders for a lot of the pictures I do. They're not going to destroy or damage much, but I can hear them getting into the one box, tearing it apart, and it's just, behave, you two. Ronan, Mako, no fighting, it's too early for fighting. That's not what I wanted to build there. Trump. Now he's a much smaller fish in a much bigger pond. And I'm sorry, Charlie Kirk was a terrible person, but he wasn't a Pol Pot, a Hitler, a Stalin. He was the worst living person I know, but now he's entered into a new arena, and that arena is historically much, well, the stats get a lot harder to make marks in, let's just say that. For the moment, though, Trump's now the worst person I know that's living. And even him, oh, sweet chariot, he won't be here long, will he? He's turning black. He's losing track of where he's at. He's turning black. He's got two faces now. Y'all, I'm just saying, if y'all wanted to watch an old person die, go volunteer at a fucking nursing home. It would have been a lot nicer than electing an old person as president just to, you know, watch. I mean, Ma used to always tell me being the president ages you quick. What happens when they're already 80? Is he just gonna pop out of there looking like Skeletor or some shit? I don't know, I'm making light just because I'm kinda tired and I still gotta go do work today. Spineless jelly creatures, as we all know Democrats are. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna fall for the fucking, oh, but Gavin Newsom, fuck him, he's basically just Trump. He's also the one that voted to illegalize the homeless. Y'all, I don't know how to tell you this, but making something illegal just makes it profitable for the capitalists. It does not fix the problem. If you think it does, might I reference the opioid epidemic, the methamphetamine epidemic, the murder epidemic, I don't have the right stairs, the murder epidemic. There's just, making something illegal doesn't actually stop anything. It makes it to where we've got a label for it, which is handy for making laws against it, but if you're not gonna stop it, okay, give you a great example here in the U.S. Here in the U.S., as a 37-year-old, I cannot and should not be able to get with a child, a 13-year-old. However, big however here, if I go to Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri, several others I'm sure, but that was enough for me to go, oh, this is a problem. Several more I'm sure. I haven't looked into all of them because I'm not into that shit, but it's like, plenty of these places, if I go there and I talk to the parents, I can arrange a marriage with their 13-year-old daughter. And I can have a child bride. Why? Why is that on the book? Well, what if the parents find the perfect man for their kid? And he's twice her age? No, that's not what's happening there. What that's for is for the creepy Republicans who basically sell their daughters to these old nasty fucks. And then after little Jane is married, maybe Papa can get that advancement he needs at the Toyota Hyundai factory. But most of the time that's not even it. Most of the time it's because pasture knocked them up. And again, Christians are fucking weird. Not all Christians, but Southern Christians in America, weird breed, y'all. Weird breed. Like, you a Christian in Finland, you a Christian in Germany, you a Christian in inter-normal place where it's just, hey, I read the book, it brings me comfort, and I don't like to think about the void. I get that. I don't even judge that, friend. I can't even make fun of that. But if you're one of these weird motherfuckers that, well, I think we should set up our laws based on the Bible. No. It doesn't need to be debated for it, just no. Why not? No. Same as when your little kid asks why we can't have ice cream for dinner with candy tonight. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because it's stupid. That's why, honey. I don't want to say it's stupid and hurt your feelings, but that's stupid. You're going to get sick if you do that. Similarly to why, well, why can't we have biblical laws? Because it's stupid. Your biblical law predicates that your sky daddy actually responds to people. And if that were the case, then trust, I'd be all cool with biblical law and shit. I guess. But as it is, it's just biblical law just means now the ultra-rich get to be super lazy and say, well, God told me, fam, don't worry about it. But, well, God told me about that last night in prayer. And what are you going to do? Disprove them? How? At the end of the day, when you put biblical law in place, all you're doing is just the loudest person can put their words in God's mouth. And that's stupid. We need to have a very, I want to say scientific system, but there's another word for it that I just don't know of. It's the reason why the system's so litigious. It's the reason why everything when it comes to actual courts and shit takes forever. It's because the litigiousness is the point. Okay, give you an example. Someone murders grandma. As the victim, you want that murderer strung up that day. Fuck him. Kill him. I'm tired of... Grandma's not here. I get that. You're in pain. But we can't just execute everyone who you assume killed grandma. So we put the litigious system in place because there's nobody that's gonna, yo, you got the wrong one there. We're doing our best. And hey, y'all, hate to say it, but unless they're criminally insane, most people aren't just gonna comp to the crimes they commit. So you gotta have systems in place that basically show what could have happened. Again, you will not get any of this with a religious system, because by a religious system, your God deity is trying to tell you what happened. The blood cries up from the ground, and all sorts of other fictional bullshit that isn't real. I mean, it's fun to read about, and by all means, if you find comfort in the Sermon on the Mount, I disagree with it, but I'll also fight for your right to, hey, I just want to read my book. Cool, it's your book, you have every right to read it. I just draw the line at the bullshit Charlie Kirk pushed for. I think the Bible should dictate not only my beliefs, but your beliefs. No, not now, son. Now you've crossed the line. You can let it dictate your beliefs. I'm fine with that. I think it's unhealthy for you, but I'm fine with it. You just, you can't let them, I'm just saying, y'all, right now I've heard a lot of the one that made me lose my temper and go, okay, well, I wasn't gonna stream this morning. I was gonna do a video game stream this afternoon, and I was gonna do some artwork this morning. I gotta talk about this. They compared, and both sides of this political sphere did this, which pissed me off. I expected the right, because they have no history and no fucking memory and no tact, but they're comparing Charlie Kirk to Martin Luther King Jr. Y'all, I vomited a little in my mouth when I heard that, just because so are we going to compare David Duke to Martin Luther King Jr. too when he dies? For the record, non-Americans in my chat, I know there are a few of you. David Duke is the head of the Ku Klux Klan, the current not terrorist white supremacist organization. For the record, I think they're terrorists and vile scum, but my country, well, you know, a little racist. Very racist, I would say at this point. Very racist, I would say at this point. Considering, you know. Person died. As a human being, another human has died. We should feel something. But I've sat here and I've listened to the man's work. I've listened to his speeches. And I'm sorry, we didn't lose anything, y'all. I'm sure the girls, his daughters, who he would happily make carry a rapist baby to term, I'm sure they might miss him. But another part of me is like, What happens when that little girl who's like 4 or 5 now gets to be 18, 19, and, hey, I wonder what Dad used to say. Mom used to always say he was a political figure and a pundit and a free speech absolutist. Let's see what Dad thought. Oh, Dad thought that I should be able to be sold on an open market to a respectable man. Oh, Dad thought that I was basically just a flesh sleeve / cleaning maid for my husband. Oh, Dad thought that I should just shut the fuck up and do as the man tells me. Huh. That's the reason that I'm just like, what the fuck, yo? I mean, and again, I'm never going to have kids, y'all. Just a byproduct of being ace and America having terrible health care. I would never bring a burden of pregnancy on a woman if I could help it. But, again, it's just, I won't have kids, but if I did, I would try my best to leave behind little journals like eggshells and things like that would just be, hey friends, or hey kids, know that your father loves you. Know that no matter what you're doing, your father's proud of you. I'm sorry I can't be there with you right now. But if I could, I would be, because you're fucking awesome. I would leave little messages like that, little things to boost up their confidence and make them feel better, because the world's a harsh fucking place, y'all. I don't understand this whole, the world's harsh, so we need to be harsher. Get ready, brother, salt it up. No, dude, what the fuck? The world's harsh, so we need to be soft. In a harsh, cold world, I want to be a warm blanket and hot soup. I want to provide help, not pain. Hello, Mamalal Alkalal. I can't read your name on the screen. I do have my glasses. I have a bit of wire from one of the cosplay projects I'm working on. Low-key, I'll show pictures once I got something worth showing. But I got some wire. I've got my old glasses. Y'all, by power of perseverance, we will have sight by the end of the week. I just got to figure out how to get this wire in place where that little screw is and tighten it down enough to where the lens stays in place. Because, of course, my eyes are astigmatism, so they're in such a way that I've got one good eye, a 20, and then I have like a 16 or an 18. So it's like, my good eye keeps compensating for my bad. But when the dogs slap the shit out of me, it knocked my good lens out. I could wear a monocle, but I'm not that rich or that white, and I don't know how to balance a monocle. So, you know, working where I can there. Hello, person with the black cat as their image. You seem like a cool person. I don't really... Look, y'all, I'll level with you. If Leah will come join me on this game, yeah, I'm doxing her actual name, but none of y'all know her. If Leah comes to join me, if my little sister or someone like that, or if Brett and I start doing regular tourneys, and he'll join on the... I cannot read that language. Is that Sanskrit? This isn't Google, dude. I can't just put that into a translator, much as I wish I could. PlayStation, get on that shit. You're a multi-platform. And my friends in other countries, I would like to know what they're saying. Because I feel like he wants to come join on the game, and I would love to have that, but y'all, I still don't know how to do this shit. I'm in the South. And I'm not a kid, so it's not like my friends from after school come and play and we can hook shit up. So, I'm still learning, guys. Be friendly. But no, yeah, I just, like I said, this is just your daily reminder, because I have to argue this point, and I'm going to probably have to argue it at some point at work, too. But just because someone's dead doesn't make them a good person. It doesn't undo what they've done. Death does not do anything but shut a person up forever. That's also why, for the record, y'all, I'm telling y'all, hang in there. Don't give in to that dark night. Exist even if it is out of spite. Because there are too many bad voices out there, and if y'all are watching me, if y'all listen to my ramblings and take away anything, you're listening to somebody who's venting about the worst of the worst. And I'm happy you're here. Your voice is important. And I hope that you use it, but I also hope you understand how important that voice is. It scares the fascists, and it gives you power. So if you're ever looking down that barrel, or looking at that blade, or looking at that bottle, understand, I might not know you. I might never know you. But what I know about you is you're important. So stick around a bit longer, and let's see if we can make this place worth fighting for. Because that thing you're looking at, that's a final solution to a temporary problem. How about we find a better solution? A proper solution. I don't know, y'all. That one a little darker, but hell, we're talking about the death of a shitty person, and I'm refusing to say the... But he wasn't the voice of she. It wasn't my voice. I'm a white male American about his age, a little bit older. He wasn't my fucking voice. And since a Trump supporter is the one that killed him, clearly it wasn't the voice of the right. He was just a loud, noisy hate monger. And now he's dead. Also, y'all, just because I don't want to be that broken drum channel, if I do a walk and talk, which I'm not planning on, but if I do, we might talk about him one last time if chat wants to talk. But I don't. Y'all, I think we can be done with him unless the media does something kooky or stupid, or the president passes some new law protecting hate mongers. Which, I mean, could happen. We are in America, and it is 2025. But otherwise, we're waiting for the new Cult of the Lamb to come out. I just got Dishonored 2, which means we probably should go ahead and beat Dishonored 1. And, I don't know, I might just go ahead and get rid of that one, too. I don't know why, y'all, I don't. I wish I had better reasoning for this one. But it's the dogfight pits in Dishonored. You never see them. It's just, you see posters and such, but it's like, I don't know, y'all, it's the reason that I love and hate Balto and White Fang in equal portion. I know it's historical, I know the shit happened, I know it still happens in places, but it makes me sick. Taking a beautiful animal like a dog and forcing it to fight to the death. I'm more apt to let humans do that than dogs. Hannah has made a vow, y'all. If we lose Trump and Charlie Kirk in the same month, she will become a Christian again. Jesus, get on it. Get on it, Jesus. This is your moment. I won't be a Christian, but let's just say I'll start to believe that whatever's up there might be loving if we lose Trump and Charlie Kirk in the same month. But I'm gonna need like a hat trick to happen, you know? I'm gonna need the Trump, Charlie Kirk, J.D. Vance special. I'm gonna need all the shitty people that are in power to go away. Because the problem is right now with how everything's sort of up in the air, any one thing to disrupt the system's gonna freak them the fuck out and cause a backlash. They're already starting like, I've had people warn me IRL that, hey Travis, that political stuff you talk, man, it might, y'all, if I get black bagged, we're done. We as a society are done. Because I'm nothing, y'all. I'm nothing. Now, that's not to be said, you know, if the government finds me as a threat and I'm a credible threat, good. Fuck you fashy bastards. But, I mean, real talk, y'all. I'm SpongeBob over here. I do what I can. I try to make the world a better place. But I'm just a little dude. And what is with everybody holding up Harvard? Let's be clear, I'm not knocking Harvard because I think that higher education gets knocked on too much. But it's like, what standard is Harvard? It's a Nepo baby fucking daycare. I'm not demeaning you if you have a Harvard degree. But I would know if you had a Harvard degree, because most people that went to Harvard are insufferable and will tell you within 5 minutes of meeting you, by the way, I have a Harvard degree from an Ivy League. And I'm not, again, I've known people that have Ivy degrees. They're not all bad people. But there is a degree of Ivy League people that just, oh, but what college did you attend? Did you go to Harvard? It's frustrating. It's poncy. It's stupid. We should do better as a society. Also, maybe if everybody had access. I'm not saying everyone's forced to be educated. We force the dumbs to get educated. If you commit crimes, you are forced to get an education. But if you're just existing as a person, we should make education free and accessible, not force you to go, but again, if you had the option, why wouldn't you? I mean, hell, if we had the option, I'd be a lifelong learner. I'd be taking classes just to, okay, I fully understand ecology now, and I fully understand microbiology, and I understand biology. Let's take an herpology course for understanding reptiles, herpetology. Let's take a botany course to understand plants. I would constantly be advancing my education to get my skills better. I'm a lifelong learner, y'all. But they put a price gap on it. If you want to be a lifelong learner in America, well, that's going to cost you more than a meth addiction. And to make matters worse, I mean, both of them will not pay off in the end if you're not very strategic about it. I mean, y'all, how many super duper 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 overqualified YouTubers do we have that are just trying their best to make their grift with the fucking advanced degrees they have that don't AI replace that job, or that job got moved elsewhere and they don't want to move? I'm just saying, instead of just forcing things to happen, let's let people be people. And let's get rid of the damned lobbyists in this country, for God's sake. Politics, a hot take, y'all. Politics should not be financial. You should be able to be just a working schmuck and be a politician. And we don't have one of those. We don't. We've got politicians that might hold regular jobs, but we don't have a fast fry cook politician or a chef politician. We don't have a construction politician. I mean, we've got people that worked in construction, but not someone that poured concrete or pulled wire. Or, no. We've got the ones who owned the companies. We've got the boss's sons up there. And again, I'm not gonna like knock them if you're there and all that. I've got friends who say that their bosses aren't that bad. I call them liars, but you know, I'm not there. I don't know. I just know that the reason that the poor have such a hard time in this country is we're not represented. The closest thing representing me as a poor Southern American in our county commissions and all that are religious figureheads. Jackasses that haven't worked a day in their lives and don't understand what it's like to get a 40 to 60 hour work week where your head's hurting, your back's hurting, you're pissing like Gatorade yellow because you're holding your bladder for hours on end. And by the way, just letting you know, you're not going to make it this month. Your bills aren't going to be completely paid. So go ahead and get rid of whatever fun item you were dreaming of. That's not happening. Pick a bill, one of the bills you need, like water, power, food, clothing. Pick something you need because you're not getting that one. And then pour it all into the others. But while you're paying that, go ahead and give them a real heartfelt, hey, bud, look, I want to pay that bill. I'm doing my best. I promise I'm not trying to Ponzi scheme y'all, but I ain't got it. I'll get you next month, okay? You're first to the list next month, or next week, okay? And then take a deep breath, because you know you'll pay them, but that means that other bill's going to have to go without. None of our politicians have to deal with this. That's why they can happily, we're getting bigger, y'all. America's coming back. But they'll also cry and beg for our assistance when the banks or the housing market collapses. Y'all, I gave up on owning a home. I owned one for a little bit, and then my piece of shit fucking Gen Z uncle came in, ripped the ceiling down, pulled the pipes out from under the sink, flooded the entire house out, and due to the system we have, I could take on a second and third job, but the city said basically I wasn't allowed to live in my house while doing that, so immediately had to find a new place to live, start a life, and sold the house though. I fully informed that buyer the nightmare they were getting. I told them if it was me, I would simply level the house and build anew. But that's also because my meth head uncle had nothing but time on his hands. The church gives him money for driving fucking drug addicts to rehab. So when he has no drug addicts to drive to rehab, the church just pays him money to sit at home and chill. So he had time to go from his house to my house to destroy it. And tried to fight it in court. Judge said I need to put up cameras. Put up cameras. Meth head took them down. Police and judge said, well, put up more cameras because that's his right. He can take cameras down in his house if y'all are sharing the house. What I'm saying is our government is inevitably stupid and the only people it protects are the wealthy elites. And while I'm not saying to burn it all down because that won't help, I am saying that we need more people that are actually workers in office. And for the record, if I hear a politician tell me that Charlie Kirk is, I will accept that political violence is wrong, even though I don't agree with that. Y'all, having no political violence means that's a world where we fought Hitler with the power of love and friendship. Not with bombs and tanks, but with, hey now, hey, that's not nice, be nice, hey. No, sometimes you gotta punch a Nazi in the face. Sometimes you gotta fight. We punch Nazis now, so we're not shooting them later. Because, yeah, friend, there shouldn't be that there should be a level of understanding, and I do want to make sure someone talking the shit they talking before they get hit. But nah, message should still be talk shit, get hit. And if you out here telling me fucking DEI is the biggest problem our country faces, that's some shit you need to explain better, or get hit. And anyone that gives the shit Charlie Kirk used to with make a smug little cunty point that isn't a point, and then give that weird little too much gum smile, I'm glad we're not going to have to see that anymore. Yeah, that should not be the way media is run at all. Those should be disqualifiers. But somehow, some way, we in America, at least, not talking about anyone else, because I can't visit anywhere else. But not talking anywhere else, just in America, we have prioritized idiocracy. We've said, yeah, give us the biggest dumbasses of the group. Just make sure they're sexy. And then we, you know, oh, they don't even have to be sexy. Just give us the biggest, nastiest, stupidest sons of bitches you got. That's how we wound up with the current administration. Because before, they at least had to be stupid and pretty. I mean, Katy Perry's always been a dumb bitch, but she was pretty for a while. Still is, arguably. I mean, she has shit takes, but you can't take away the girl's looks. But I, for one, would say to get with someone like Halcyon or Hailstorm. They're pretty, or they're pretty reckless. They're pretty, but they also have a point to their shit. It's not just, oh, I'm pretty, aren't I pretty? Pretty girls are important. In the case of the Pretty Reckless, it's hard rock, hard life. In the case of Hailstorm, it's, okay, bitch, you want to be a creeper, dude? Fine, let me show you what a creeper girl's like. I haven't heard Hailstorm in a while, but I do like a lot of their songs, like I Get Off and a few other others. Basically, they were a grunge 90s hair band, but girls. I like them. And this don't look that bad. The little bass is coming along nice. Got us a nice little tempo going. And Hannah did a lot of different things on her little stream. Personally, I think someone should do a Charlie Kirk stream and just cover all the numerous times he talked about, well, it's okay for people to die due to gun violence. At least we get guns. Hey, be a man. Don't die from the gun violence. I want to hear an entire stream of his hot takes like that. Especially considering the hilarious way that he went out. For the record, no. For anyone else, you, my dear viewer, your parents, your loved ones, horrifying. Nobody should ever go out that way. Real talk, terrible. Charlie Kirk, noted right-wing shitbag. Yeah, but I ain't gonna pretend like it ain't fucking funny. Man preached about how gun violence wasn't a big deal and people just need to man up and get a gun. And then he died by the gun. I mean, God's sake, if I was a Christian, I would point out, live by the sword, die by the sword. I'm just saying, y'all, I'm just saying. If I get my clock punched by somebody and me, if I die fighting, it's because I was a fighter and I stood down on my fighting point. Don't... To compare someone I love to someone that I absolutely hate. When Steve Irwin was taken out by a stingray, I wept. I was openly and unabashedly sad for an individual I had never met in my life. But he got me through being a kid. And he taught me a lot about the animal world. And at no point did I blame the goddamn stingray. Because that's not what Steve would have wanted. His big thing was about teaching. And in that philosophy, in that same fucking vein, for someone that I love as much as Steve Irwin, I'm going to point out for someone I hate as much as Charlie Kirk. Dude said don't mourn him. Dude said if he died by gun violence, it was just the price to be paid. So why is everybody disrespecting his memory so goddamn much? I didn't even like him, and I'm telling you to respect the Nazis' memory. And lambaste the shit out of him. Let's do more memes. Let's laugh at him. Because that's what Charlie would have wanted. either way, y'all, I thank you, whoever's been there all day, for the whole stream. And we will definitely be seeing you a little bit later on today when we continue. For now, this is about where we've stopped for the time. But honestly, given that it's been 14 days and we're not dead, I'd say we're doing pretty damn good. I need to bring up the roof in here some, so I might do that before we sign off. But before I do that, I also need to, you know... There we go. Okay. Again, not a big Swiftie here, but... Dude, can we just leave the lady the fuck alone? She's an adult woman. She gets to make her own decisions. And none of her business is my business. Or yours. God's sake, who cares? Apparently she's getting married to football guy. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy that they're happy. But they're also rich white Americans. I got bigger problems to worry about that ain't some lily white woman's fucking marriage. She's not doing terrible things. She's also not helping anybody. She's just having a wedding. Let people. I mean, God's sake. I've always tried to figure that part out, and I haven't quite found a good, like, I get that we're social creatures and we're social apes. I get that social apes show off, have fashion, all this. I get it. I understand fundamentally. What I don't understand is why, though. Why do we do the strange things we do? And I know this one isn't something we can dilute into a simple lab study, but why do we pick the people we pick? Because again, I'm not like knocking on Taylor Swift. Her music's fine. It's not for me, but it's also not for me. It's fine. But it's not like, okay, she's not out there playing the sousaphone. She's not out there doing something new with music. She's doing the same songs as Dolly, as everyone else before her. And again, I'm not knocking it. She sang real good, pretty voice. But why would I care about her political takes? Why would I care about who she's marrying outside of, well, I hope they have a happy life. I hope that person makes her very happy. Because, hot take, y'all, I also hope whoever you choose to marry or choose to stay non-married for the rest of your life, I hope you find happiness. I want all of us, at least here on my community, to find happiness. Whether that be with somebody or without, but still. That's my thing. The weird obsession with... It feels almost like people are involved. Oh, well, if I know about Taylor and Kelsey, whatever his name is, then I'm secretly in the three-way. No, you're just fucking weird. That's what I don't understand, is the connection. It's like that terrible cunt back in the early 70s or 80s, the lifestyles, rich and famous. Later on leading to MTV's Cribs. It's in order to try to make you see that, but yeah, we're both human, but this motherfucker has a bathroom that you can play baseball in. Reference Nickelback. Aren't you jealous? Aren't they better than you? No, they just have more money because our system puts them at a higher standard than me. Nothing's based on labor, time, or attentiveness. I mean, give you another example where I work at. Not bitching about it to nobody, but it's like they're about to promote a manager or promote a person on staff to manager who has called out more times than anyone else on staff, has no-called no-showed several times, has straight up quit by no-calling and no-showing once, oftentimes takes 7 to 8 to 10 to 15 to 20 cigarette breaks a day. I'm not exaggerating. If he's not walking outside to hit a cigarette, or to have a cigarette, he's walking outside to hit his vape. And yet, he's about to be my manager. A man who, the other day when I was like, I need some help with this, literally didn't know how to filter the fryer machines. Didn't know how to cut the vegetables. Doesn't know how to prep things. They can run the register, though, and they can lean on counters, and boy howdy are they real good at sucking the boss's ass. And that's what a lot, I hate to say it to you, that's a lot of what, at least in America, corporations comes down to, is it doesn't matter how skilled you are, it matters how well you fit into the mold, and in his case, he shaved his head bald so that his natural hair would come back short, and how you fit in, and how good you are at kissing ass. And that's all that matters, and that's very depressing. It should be skill-based. It should be, even if your attitude is somewhat astringent, you can do the job better than anybody else, so we're picking you. Instead, it's, oh, well, you're terrible at the job, but that dude's gonna hate watching you fuck it up so bad, he'll take up all your slack. So, welcome, new member of management. It's just exhausting. But at the moment, America's in a hiring freeze, so while I could get another job, it would be just as shitty as this job, and it would be at a gas station instead of cooking. So I mean, in a way it'd be better, but in ways it would also be so much more boring. And to make matters worse, it probably wouldn't pay as well. Also, unless I got a good manager at the gas station, there's always that chance that, you know, I'm working and I get more hours and I get slightly more money, but now I don't get free food. I also wouldn't get to bring home scraps, I'm betting. So it's like, you know, I put up with the job and I take what rewards I get. But I'm just so tired. It feels like life should be happy. Maybe not all the time, but it feels like we should have moments. And every day for about 5 to 10 minutes when I wake up with my cats on my hip and my feet, my big dog at my feet, little Shifu curled up next to me making my arm go to sleep. For that about 5 to 10 minutes before I have to get up and get dressed and be a human, I am whole. I am free. And I miss it. Hope y'all get to have a good day. My day will get better soon. And when I get home, we'll find one of the video games to do. It won't be another Minecraft. I'm going to save that for wind up and wind down. But it'll be something. I haven't decided yet. Either way. I need to put more chests around. Well, I mean, the shooter looks like he could be a Swiftie. Nothing against Swifties. He's, like I said, y'all, I don't know what to say other than he's a white dude. He's the whitest of white dudes. I don't even know what he's talking about there. I thought Kelsey, Kelsey, I guess is his name. I thought that Taylor Swift's boyfriend was actually like a right-winger. Like, not crazy right-winger, just like this. There, believe it or not, y'all, long ago and far away, back in the age of the 90s, not all Republicans were crazy Nazi douchebags. Some of them were just, like, really greedy. some of them were just really, really, really greedy, and they got on the whole, well, if they come after our taxes, eventually when you become a billionaire like us, they'll come after yours. So fiscally Republican basically means you're a greedy cunt, and you don't care if there's inequality, you just want to be on the right end of the inequality. I really should stop feeding the cats in the morning. Because I feed them every morning before I head out to work. But normally I've already hit the road by now. And yeah, I knew it was you, Mako. And one of the two boys will just go through the hallway. And basically my method, because I don't want to leave too much cat food out, I'll fill up 7 or 8 bowls. But I never fill them up. They're just like a little bit on the bottom. Mostly because if I don't, and I fill up 1 or 2 bowls all the way, once Mako gets done eating his fill, he'll just knock the bowl over. And then my dog ends up eating a whole lot of cat food, which is fine, but it's not good for them. Don't feed your dog cat food. Cats are obligate carnivores, dogs are omnivores. They can eat it, but it'll tear up their stomach because it's almost all, well, it is all protein for the most part, and dogs require a certain amount of grain and roughage. Yeah. I need to expand this room out some and avoid looking the Enderman in the eye. But alright, y'all. For now, we're going to call it here. I hope the stream has been enjoyable for everybody. We are going to try to build up and build better later. And we will see y'all. Damn it, every time. We will see y'all the next time. Let's go ahead and set up some emotes. Alright, y'all. We will see y'all later. Bye now, y'all. Be good, and we'll see you later this afternoon.